and good evening, everyone. On behalf of Amar Health and Wellness Awareness Network, I welcome you to the 9th Gala Give A Heart.
Come on, DJ, let's shake up the party, come on! Everybody, come on! Woo, woo, woo!
On behalf of the entire team of Amar Karma, I would like to welcome you all to the 9th annual Give A Heart event. Give a huge round of applause for all of you, ladies and gentlemen.
When we look at the stats and the statistics on organ donation, almost over 75% of people in Canada and Ontario agree with organ donation, but only 1/3 of us are actually registered and have consented to organ donation. So I think it's very important that all of us do our part in raising awareness, and that's exactly what this organization is doing, and that's exactly what all of you are doing by supporting this event and coming here today and participating. So I just want to give a great, one big round of applause to all of the great volunteers who have committed their service to this organization, to this public service, because it's so important, it's so necessary.
It's Mandir.
And when did you turn 16?
Just a month ago.
And you've already signed up as organ donor?
Yes, I did.
How does it feel? Just share
It feels nice, just to help and everything.
That's exactly what it is. How about you?
My name is Rahul, and I turned 16 just a few days ago.
Okay.
And I just signed up for to become an organ donor.
Congratulations and belated happy birthday.
My name is Samit. Right, I turned 16 last year as well, and honestly, just like to be able to know that I'm giving someone the gift of life, right? It honestly means a lot because it's something special and something that we should truly be grateful for.
Amar Karma has really brought me on as a member and asked me difficult questions at difficult times. They've asked me again today to come up here, discuss the role of support groups, community groups, such as this one, Amar Karma, in trying to cope or helping cope youth, individuals, patients, families who are going through illness, serious illness, such as maybe families waiting for transplant, patients going through transplant, families going through cancer, families going through addiction. All these are serious illnesses. They just have different forms.
Mr. Patrick Brown, say a few words, please.
Well, thank you, Mandy. My good friend Garnet Manning had told me about this gathering tonight. As you know, Garnet, a few years ago, used to be on Brampton City Council, and he told me that the group behind this, Levine and everyone else, throws their heart into this fundraiser for organ donation, and how appropriate it is that it's in the month of February. You look at Valentine's Day, and it's a symbol of love. Well, having this gathering to help someone who needs a little bit of love is so appropriate. And so I just wanted to say, one of the wonderful things about Brampton and Mississauga and Peel region is that there's so many organizations that actually want to help out, that have a big heart. Nowhere else in the country are there as many charitable fundraisers than you see in the beautiful community that we live. And so I wanted to come and just to say on behalf of the city of Brampton, to Levine and the whole crew behind tonight's efforts, that we salute you in the city of Brampton. Thank you for this incredible effort, and hopefully everyone tonight can pitch in to support the important work behind organ donation. And I hope everyone has a great evening and look forward to seeing you soon.
I was so impressed. I was so impressed that this girl, she is talking about they want to create an awareness, and that too in a South Asian community, about the organ donation. And you know who that girl was? Who was that girl? Laveen Korgil. So big round of applause for Laveen, guys. Fantastic. She said to me that, can you support us? Can you help us? And I was thinking, I'm not there to help you. Actually, you are helping me. You are helping me by giving me a purpose of my life. You are doing something which I cannot do. Because whatever we do in our life, we have a motto of doing business. But whatever you are doing in your life, that actually has totally a different purpose. It is actually without any self-interest, and I think that is what is called giving.
To you about addiction. So to do so, I'm going to be telling you about a story about my friend. She's very close to me, and she tells me almost everything. And she told me about her dad and her problem. I was very shocked in how someone can do something like this. So her dad is addicted to drinking, and he puts a major effect on their family life, and he's the person that they're all supposed to look up to. Yet, he's the one who is sloping down so low. If this story sounds familiar to any of you guys, or if there's anything similar to this, I would recommend some counseling and some help, and to talk about what the actual reason is. I feel for her, and if any of you are going through something similar, I feel for you as well.
The room was darker than night, nowhere to be found a source of light. The warmth, the heat had never existed, while his hands and his feet were tied, restricted. The walls moved and kept closing in. He was filled with fear right to the brim, counting on his hands all of the sin that led up to this place's origin. He was lost, suffocated, hopeless, blaming himself, oh, how he felt useless. He thought it was his fault. Tears flowed, showing remorse. What was wrong with him? What actions set this in course? His mind was racing, thinking of ways to make it stop. But nothing he seemed to do seemed to slow the backdrop from exposing him and making him more vulnerable. Now it's his skin making him uncomfortable. He's closing up like flower petals in winter's chime, losing his color and turning into a bland gray, affection, hope, a splinter in his behind. He doesn't need it, it will just lead him astray. Why blame him? Such things didn't come to help when they laughed and screamed at him with a yelp. He hates them for what they have caused, for what they have done. But he hates himself more, thinking he was the reason it begun. You might have already guessed that this poem wasn't about just an imaginary room. It was a metaphor for something which many kids experience nowadays, and that's bullying. These kids feel like the world is against them and are desperate for a light to guide them. Stand up for the ones who can't stand up for themselves.
Imagine there's a soccer game being played and two of the kids run at each other. The two kids that are running after each other run at the same ball. One of the kids kicks the balls into the other kid's eyes and damages his eyes. The kid falls down and he starts crying, and he complains that he cannot see. Now, that very same kid goes to the doctor, and the doctor gives a quick diagnostic. He's like, your cornea is damaged and you may never be able to see. Ladies and gentlemen, this simple accident changes the game of soccer, which is a relatively safe and innocent sport, to something sinister. Now, this incident relates to my topic, which is eye donation. And now there's a negative stigma that relates to eye donation. People think that, oh, I'm gonna have to give up my whole eye, or my body's gonna look deformed. However, this is not the case. The procedure is actually very simple, and all that happens is they take a relatively small portion of your cornea and they transplant it into a different person. Now, there's a negative stigma, and we have to end this. To end it, we have to look at the facts. The facts is that the procedure is very simple, and it takes no time at all. It also has a very high success rate. Eye donation is the second most common donation form after blood donation. That's why if we all rise up and we decide to end eye donation, we can figure this out by 2030. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for coming out to Amar Karma's annual event. Today, I'll be talking about a topic that's very important and that affects 100% of the individuals not only sitting in this room today, but each and every member of our society: mental health. Mental health is so very important to understand and recognize amongst not only the children, the youth, but even the adults in our society. Mental health is something that can be taken in a negative light or a positive light, depending on how each and every one of you can take it with the support systems that you have in your daily lives. It's very important to understand that whether you are feeling like you're alone or you have no one to turn to, it's so very important to understand that there's always a support system that you can turn to, and there's so many different resources in our community that are available, like Amar Karma itself. Amar Karma believes that energy is reciprocal and synergetic. Here, we're a family. Everyone sitting in this room today is a family that comes together for an important cause and an important purpose. And it's very important to understand that we should be not only united by our pain, but we should be united by our purposes. And that is why mental health is something that affects us not only in our pains, but in our struggles and in our triumphs as well. One point that I wanted to leave you all with is the fact that not only do you have people to lean on, but that you're someone that someone looks up to for inspiration, someone that's a shoulder to cry on, and a person to laugh with. So I want you all to leave this building today with a smile on your face, knowing that you're never alone and that mental health affects each and every one of us, and we all have a support system to look at and to help us guide through our pains, our struggles, and our happiness. Thank you.
So before I begin, I would like to ask if anybody in here has a lighter. Anyone? Sorry to begin like this. I've just been craving a cigarette for a very long time now. So you must be wondering by now, who is this guy and why is he on stage talking to us? I'm going to tell you a brief little story about a person who is important to one of my friends. He was a guy that was my age, passed away last year from overdosing on a cough syrup known as codeine. And stuff like that just gets me. Like, someone my age dying that young, it's shocking. So today I'm going to tell you brief information. So if you know anyone struggling with addiction, you can tell them and make them make informed decisions about drugs. So first of all, we have something which is called a reward pathway in our brain. And this reward pathway is responsible for keeping track of things we find pleasing. So before I begin the speech, I asked everyone for a cigarette. If I was a long-time cigarette smoker, I would have asked for a cigarette instead of having to do the speech, which I find really pleasing. And secondly, we all know someone that says after they get drunk or high on marijuana, they think they have really nice sleep. But that's just a myth, and it's not really true. After you drink or smoke weed, you're not going through your regular sleep cycles. Most importantly, the REM sleep cycle, which is important for your dreaming. So if you get drunk one night and you wake up in the morning, you're gonna not remember any dreams that you had. And that's basically because of the effects that alcohol has on your brain. And that's all I have to say today. And hopefully, if you ever see anyone going through addiction, you use these things to help them out. Thank you.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Aditya Goyal. I will be talking about blood donation. Blood is one of the most precious gifts given to you. Blood donation can save many lives. When blood is given from one human to another human, it's called transfusion. Blood is sometimes taken for granted. A life can be caused due to blood loss. Now, why is it important to donate blood? Where such things as accidents and surgeries, humans can lose a lot of blood. Blood is not something that can be made. It has been from one human to another human. I encourage everyone who is 16 and older to donate their blood and sign up to be an organ donor and save lives.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be talking about stress. I have such a big headache. Why am I so stressed? Well, it might be because I have a bunch of projects coming to get me. I hate this feeling. How do I avoid it? Well, for starters, I could learn to manage time better. Oh, and give myself more breaks. And sleep a bit more to recover from stressful events. Well, now that I know how to avoid stress, what is it? Stress is the feeling you get when something like a project or an assignment's due date is coming close and you've barely done anything. Or when you have tons of tests to study for. Of course, different things cause stress to different age groups. Like my little sister wouldn't be worrying about her math test on Monday. These examples were from a student's point of view. Thank you for listening and enjoy your evening.
Jojo, go to sleep. Jojo, let go of my finger. Let go. Go to sleep. Hi, my name is Kaya. I had a baby, Jojo, a few weeks ago. I know. The baby bump is still there, but I promise you all I will go to the gym and get rid of it. Okay, now let's get to the main point. So, I came here to talk to all of you about an umbilical cord. When Jojo was in here, you might think that we never used to communicate, and those of you who were pregnant might know that that is not true. So, when Jojo was in here, we actually communicated a lot through the umbilical cord. So, when Jojo was born a few weeks ago, the umbilical cord was cut. So I thought that I should donate that umbilical cord to someone who needs it more than me. I know that the umbilical cord was very precious to me and Jojo, but I thought that other people can use it more than me. But you still don't know why I donated it. So that's why I'm here to talk to you. I want to tell you that I donated it because it can be used to make medicine. Maybe it's a cure for cancer or a cure for sicknesses that doctors haven't even discovered yet. So, I want all of you, I request you all to try to donate your umbilical cords. If you are pregnant, tell your doctors you would like to donate your umbilical cords to someone who needs it more than you. I hope you all listened to what I came here to say today and will try your best to donate your umbilical cords. And one more thing before I leave. Peace out. Bye.
My name is Shreya, and this is Ria. So our topic is talking about kindness to the disabled. Did you know that 15% of the world's population are people with some type of disability, and most aren't treated with the kindness they deserve, only making their disability and mental health worse? Here's something said by someone experiencing this. Please understand, I have a disability, not a disease. You can't catch it. I may walk, talk, and move differently than you do, but in the inside, I'm the same as you. Having a stable mental health is crucial to one's healing, if that's even possible. And everyday things like holding the door with for someone with a disability can make their day brighter. As Mark Twain said, kindness is a language that the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Which is why we are talking about being kind to the people with disabilities. Doing simple acts of kindness for not just the disabled can brighten someone's day. Because we may not know what is going on in their life, but we can make a smile for no price. The best way to treat those with disabilities is by treating them like a normal person, with respect and kindness. Although some people might need some extra help, they are human beings just like us. It is also important to remember that not all disabilities are visual. Some may have mental disabilities that are not easily seen at first. Always know that it is okay to be curious, but not all are very comfortable with sharing certain information about themselves. Sometimes they are, in which it's best to ask them and the things that you can help them and support them with. Don't be lazy by making judgments about people. Be kind and ask them about their stories. Another point is to never judge those with disabilities. No matter who they are or what circumstances they might be in, you should never judge their personality or medical situation based on the looks of it. In the end, we encourage you all to be kind to everyone, not just the disabled. Always find ways to brighten someone's day, and you will feel happiness within yourself. Thank you and have a good evening.
Urgent. We are looking for your help to find O group live donor, or it could be with the directed donation by the family members of any brain dead person, or God forbidden any accidental injury, accidental death in the family. That could be gift of life for our son, which a human being can provide only. We appeal everyone today to help Archin and many other people like him who are waiting for the organ donation by registering yourself as a registered donor after your death. And Sam, can you?
Thanks to everyone. Thanks to Amar Karma Society who has taken these steps forward to promote the organ donation cause. Also, we thank Mandy and Levine to invite us to share our feelings and promote our cause. And again, we appeal everybody that we should register ourselves for organ donations.
Hi, my name is Ramat and I'm 7 years old. 2 years ago, I went to India. One day I went shopping and I saw some beggars who couldn't see. I realized their life is so difficult to live without a voice. So I asked my mom, how can I help them to get their eyes back? My mom said, you should donate your eyes after your life. So if me or somebody else will donate their eyes after their life, one can see the beautiful world. Thank you.
Awesome, and we are all so proud of you. Big round of applause once again, please.
And this organization is definitely doing something, more than something. They're educating the community, and I think it's very needed in the South Asian community, about how much is in us to give, really. Just like the advertisement for blood. There's so much in us to give and nothing to lose, really, at the end of the day, because what's inevitable is that we're all going to leave this earth one day. It's inevitable. Every single one of us in this room, some young, some old. But why not, when you're leaving, departing this earth, give life, give a gift behind? Why not? It's in us. We have the ability to do that.
One thing good to see, Amar Karma is not alone. All of you are with them. You know, in our culture, we always say one thing. ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਕੱਲੇ ਆਏ ਸੀ ਕੱਲੇ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ, ਖਾਲੀ ਹੱਥ ਆਏ ਸੀ ਖਾਲੀ ਹੱਥ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ. But I can tell you, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੋ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਖਾਲੀ ਹੱਥ ਆਏ ਸੀ, ਪਰ ਜਦ ਆਪਣੇ ਡੋਨਰ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਨਾ, ਤੇ ਖਾਲੀ ਹੱਥ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ. You're taking lot of blessings. And that is amazing part. And that credit goes to Amar Karma as well.
Because of people like you, so many people, not just in Brampton, not just in Mississauga, not just in Ontario, but there are so many people across the world. I know people in India who know who Amar Karma is, people in Vancouver, across the country who know who Amar Karma is. So you guys are making a difference. And all I have to say is keep doing what you're doing because it matters. Every single person that you talk to, every single time you come up on stage, you're inspiring your parents, you're inspiring me. You're not only giving the gift of life to someone like my dad, you're giving our entire family, our entire community the gift of life. So thank you guys. And thank you to your parents and your families for supporting you.
I'm gonna learn how to fly in a world comer, no sé lo que hacer.
Whether you should or shouldn't become a volunteer. The important thing to remember is you're never too young, you're never too old to become a volunteer. You can reach out, you can become a part of the organization, and the important thing is that attributes such as kindness and global caring can really be developed in young minds, which helps them succeed in the future.
Welcome to my condo. I'm gonna show you something where you don't look. Before and we go slow. Hey, here they come. Girl, don't break come. I know you feel the mood and say come. The way you want to move, I'm break come.
One person who is leaving this world can contribute to the life of 7 people.
Thank you so much for being part of our legacy, yours and ours together. Give a Heart. This is our 9th annual, and it's possible because of all of you. And I know many of you have been to every Give a Heart. And the children that are growing along with Amar Karma. Sometimes I say we've come a long way, even beyond the cause. Yes, the causes, there was one cause, and then there have been many causes. They've all been going, but we're growing with Amar Karma. There's this synergy.
She is the foundation, and from the foundation she's built the pillars. That is her entire team, and then all of you that are here. And if you're not registered as a donor, you should.